Hi, everybody. It's Deanna Fenton, and I want to welcome you to this week's Simple Steps to Online Success. Now, today's episode, I am going over the recent updates that Kajabi announced just yesterday. They did a development cycle update. And what I like to do when they do that is actually go through the updates with you so you have an understanding of exactly what this means to you, or perhaps it doesn't involve you and it's not something you would use, but at least you know and you can stay up to date. Because I imagine there's nothing worse than not having logged into your Kajabi site in a few days or weeks, and then you log in and suddenly everything looks different. I don't have that problem really because I'm in here multiple times a day. So, and I obviously, as it's my business to know what the updates are going to be. So I'm going to go over a couple with you, well, more than a couple, because there was quite a few. Kind of giving you my impression or my feedback and try and give you some guidance as to who this update might impact, whether you should take some action on it, or, it's good information for a later date where some of you may not need to do anything at this time. There is one particular update that is specific to Facebook ads and the recent changes that were announced by Apple that allow Apple users to opt out of tracking. And that has had a huge impact on anybody that runs Facebook ads. If you are running Facebook ads right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It has been, shall we say, a cluster. And there are some things that you can do or must do with running traffic to Kajabi landing pages. If you go to my YouTube channel, I have a few videos on the steps that you need to take. Now, during yesterday's development cycle, Kajabi announced another update that is extremely important if you are running Facebook ads. It's quite involved, and just when I say quite involved, to kind of give you the whole backstory and the explanation of what to do could take a lot longer. So I'm thinking I better do that as a separate standalone episode. I will talk about it. I will point you in the right direction, but to go through all the steps and the what to do's, just like I did on my YouTube videos, I'm not going to do that today because it's just way too much. And when we get there in my recap, I will let you know. And I will tell you, if you are the type to dive in, like you have a sense of urgency, like you've got to run Facebook ads and you understand how this will impact you, I'll point you where you can get more information. For the rest of you, I'll record a separate episode that you can reference. Okay, now that I've gotten completely off track, let's talk about development cycles. So what is a development cycle and why does Kajabi keep doing these development cycle updates? Some of you have heard this before, but in short, Kajabi used to do this over the last about a year, probably around 2020, the year that we all wish never happened. They stopped doing them. And it seemed as though some of the updates and developments and enhancements of the product, the entire Kajabi platform, kind of just stalled out. They have brought back, as of, I think it was about December of last year, they brought back development cycles. What happens is Kajabi's product team sets some very specific goals for a 6 to 8 week period of time. They decide and they rank, obviously, the most important updates that they want to get accomplished in that time frame. They work with development to create those updates. They work with some Kajabi users to beta test the updates, and then gradually roll them out to everybody. So since December, we've had, I believe, we're coming up on the fourth one. And yesterday's announcement was the Toronto development cycle updates. So technically, the Toronto development cycle is now over. The updates that they talked about, the things they were going to accomplish, have pretty much been rolled out to most users. And I feel like I've gone over this. It's weird because as I was outlining this presentation, I'm like, I've talked about the email deliverability and I've talked about some of these things. So if the first one, the email deliverability, is a recap for you, stick with me because, again, there are some really important ones coming up and ones that I think most of you will really, really be excited about. Also, if you are watching on the replay, go ahead and give me a hashtag replay so I know how many of you come back and watch after the fact. And I am so glad that you do come back, even if you can't watch this live. And of course, if you're watching live, let me know, say hi, so I can let you know that I see you as well. So Toronto development cycle, which was recently completed, the big update had to do with email deliverability. Now, I addressed this in a Facebook group where a Kajabi user said, I don't know whether or not to use Kajabi's email because I hear it's not good. Kajabi is not good for email. And I have to tell you, when I hear that, I'm just like, I don't know where some of that's coming from. My virtual assistant, every week after we send out our weekly email, her job is to go back and recap how many emails were sent, how many were delivered, what was our open rate, what was our click-through rate. I monitor all of those statistics. And consistently, we get over 99% deliverability, meaning if we send out 1,000 emails, we get 990, right? Whatever, are delivered. And so there is like 1% that maybe doesn't make it. And it could be for a variety of reasons. It could be that it was blocked by the email service. It could be it was a bad email address. So many times, unless you have a double opt-in set up, sometimes people make a typo in their email address and that email becomes undeliverable. So anyway, we consistently get that, and we consistently get between 25 and 30+% open rate, which in this day and age is considered quite good. So I have taken some very proactive steps that are not Kajabi related to make sure that my email list is what I would call a clean list, meaning I've validated that the emails are good emails and I'm not sending out to a number of bad email addresses, meaning undeliverable email addresses for whatever reason. And so I work on it. I work very consistently on trying to improve. And as a result, I think I see the benefits of that in the statistics that we get. Now, the problem that occurred with Kajabi is Kajabi as a platform has an email sender reputation that they must guard very, very carefully, because there's actually, so you understand, and this is whether it's Kajabi, ConvertKit, ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, etc. There are other platforms out there that monitor and manage mass distribution of emails. And those platforms are extremely strict. And they're monitoring the sender reputation, not only of our domains, if you're using your own domain, or in our case, we're using Kajabi's domain to send. And if there are a significant number of bad email addresses, and that comes from people buying email lists that are not clean lists, so they are full of old, inactive email addresses that bounce. Spam bots, and this is why I know for a fact, I've talked about this before. We've talked about spam bots and how spam bots go out and fill out forms and get on your email list, and they're bad emails. Those go against the sender reputation. So what had happened was that there were some people with enormous lists, we're talking tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, that didn't go through a process of either doing a double opt-in or cleaning and monitoring their lists for bad email addresses, undeliverable email addresses, non-opens, etc. So at one point early in January, Kajabi got a huge blowback because senders in Kajabi were sending a lot of bad email out, a lot of bad email addresses. When that happens, that triggers a spam warning on these platforms. And it can trigger a spam warning on Outlook, Gmail, drawing a blank, in any of those email providers, the people that we go to and we get our email. And that's what happened. So yes, to a certain extent, it was a problem with Kajabi that they weren't monitoring that from the beginning, but there were also people within the community that may inadvertently have contributed to this. They may not have even realized that they were contributing to this. So what happened was Kajabi had to throttle back and really start to, and it was a very long process because with tens of thousands of Kajabi users, just imagine how many email addresses are in those combined databases. There's just huge numbers. So they really had to focus. They had to put into place a not just a stopgap, but a process to eliminate future problems as well as clean up the problems that were there. So what the solution was, which was very few people's favorite option, is they are implementing now reCAPTCHA on forms if you are not choosing to use a double opt-in process for new email subscribers. So, you've seen reCAPTCHA, that hideous little box that pops up and says, check here to prove that you're a human, or if it really doesn't trust what you entered as your email, it's going to pop up with the horrible little picture that says, click here every place you see a bus or a crosswalk or a light, a traffic light. And I know people hate that. I hate that. But the reason is because there were too many spam bots that were putting in bad email addresses, and all of this triggered. The other option now is double opt-in. And I mean, double opt-in has always been an option, but what Kajabi has tried to do is give us more control over the messaging of using double opt-in. I am going to go ahead and I am going to share my screen to talk about this, just because honestly, it's truly, truly very important. So I'm going to come down here to my settings, and I have to remember. Oh no, I'm sorry. Excuse me for being lame here. It's going to be controlled on a form by form basis. So let's say, for example, here, I have this waitlist form for a course. So now what you'll see here is we have the two options, right? We have double opt-in, which is what is recommended. And that means contacts must confirm their subscription via email after completing the form. This helps improve deliverability and the quality of your leads. So those of you that may have used MailChimp, or you've signed up for somebody's list on MailChimp, I am sure you have gone through this process where you have to go back to your email and look for the confirmation email, click on it to double opt in to get whatever it is you were signing up for. Now, the good news is this used to be just a transaction within Kajabi, which meant if there was a double opt-in, boom, it shot off an email that was written by developers that just was very bare bones and not very, shall we say, like user-friendly. And here I can show you, that's what it looked like. So it would have your site name, please confirm subscription, yes, subscribe me to this list, and it would ask them to click to confirm that. So it was very blah. Now we have the option, so important, that you can send a custom confirmation email. So that lets you put a more personal touch on it. It gets you include some of your branding. It might include your logo. You could just make it much more, the only word I can think of is friendly. So highly recommend. So this is what I'm going to do. I am going to implement double opt-in. I've avoided it for a long time. Those of you in the European Union, we know you guys don't have a choice because of GDPR, but at least now you have some control. Now you do want to make sure that we're going to have a button, that says confirm your subscription, but you can customize this again to make it a little more friendly. And then in addition, you can see right here, there's the button. And you can preview what this would look like after you deal with it. You can also redirect them to a custom confirmation page, because once again, if you don't do that, this is what they get. Subscription confirmed. Your subscription to our list has been confirmed. Thank you for subscribing. You may not want to say subscribed. I mean, you may want to say joined my list to get regular. I mean, you may want to make it not so in your face, right? So you can create your own landing page now that has the messaging that you want. You can even deliver the lead magnet on this confirmation page if you want. So that kind of reduces the need to do an extra email that delivers the link for them to download the lead magnet. So that's an option for you as well. So that's the thing that is really, really important. So you're either going to have reCAPTCHA. So if I chose single opt-in, it's going to say reCAPTCHA is going to be implemented on my forms. What that's going to look like. Well, I can't see it because it's not attached to a page. It's going to show a little reCAPTCHA icon. If for any reason when they fill out the form. If the email address looks a little sketchy, it's going to ask them to confirm that they're a human being. Okay. Hi, Kent. Hi, how are you? It's nice to see you. Thank you for joining me live. Okay. So that's again was the whole issue of email deliverability. And I feel bad. We went a lot over that. I know I've done it before, but it is so important. And my recommendation again, think through the double opt-in process and take advantage of it, and take advantage of it in a way. Here's an example. When they confirm their subscription, throw in an assessment, a short assessment at the bottom. Say, hey, now that you've signed up and you're going to get this lead magnet, let me know some of your specific interests, and you can have them fill out a short assessment and tag them. And then you start to get more feedback from people, right? You start to get like, what are your specific interests on this topic? And you can start really segmenting your list by interests, which is always going to create a stronger email list and a more engaged email list. All right, back-end improvements. Now, let me just be honest. Sometimes they roll out these development cycles and they announce all these great things, and you're like, who asked for that? And part of the reason is Kajabi has grown so much over the past, I think it's 6 years now that I've been was a founder with Kajabi, this version of Kajabi. And, you know, some of it is kind of like, who asked for this? But because the product has grown, it has expanded. When I first signed up for it, literally all it was a course platform. There were no landing pages. There were no email marketing. There was nothing but course platform, really. So they are looking at ways of trying to improve organizationally and what is called user interface or UX, meaning making it more clear, clean, and easier for us to access it. Now, we're not necessarily asking for that, but it does benefit us if it becomes easier and more logical in how we work with the platform. So in these enhanced backend capabilities, let's hop on over here again. One of them, there will be dancing in the streets, I am sure. Excuse me, I want to get to pages as an example. Let me get over here, and I'm just going to, I want to get to a relatively new page to show you something that I think, again, this one is going to be dancing in the street. They are working at faster file upload speeds. Hugely important. People get super frustrated, especially uploading video, because of it can be very slow. The best recommendation I have for you, if you have large files, video files, use Handbrake to compress the files, to get the file size smaller, and upload direct from Google Drive or Dropbox. Cloud to cloud upload's always going to be faster, and it's going to be faster than from your hard drive up to Kajabi. Now, another great thing they did, thank goodness, is our image uploads have been improved, where I don't know if I have one in here that is a PNG. I can't tell just looking at them. But what would happen is if you had a PNG file, like this one might be a PNG. Remember, you would get the black background and you would be like, oh, why did I get a black background on a previously uploaded file? Well, they fixed it. So if you have uploaded a PNG in the past and you go to reuse that image, it is not going to have the black background. Now, this is not necessarily a great example because I'm not sure that is a PNG. But the other thing is when you upload a new file, look here. Right here is where you can access to look for the file. Dropbox, Google Drive, a URL, Facebook, Instagram, or take a photo and upload that file. So that gives you more options. And of course, my device. So if I click my device and I click here and, oh, I just happen to have a photo there I could grab. And here you could crop it or you could rotate it right from within and you can upload. And that upload looked pretty fast. Now, I'm going to give you a bonus how-to. Many of you have used the feature blocks and uploaded an image and you go, oh my God, why is that image so small? How can I make it bigger? What you need to do is scroll down here to image style and image width. And I generally start with 250 or 300, and that can typically make the image about the size that I want it to be. So this whole file upload process has been improved. So next, in the world of these updates, let's get back here. Now they've separated out offers and checkout from products. So now products and also products has a new look. And you can see how that looks. And the ability to edit and update a product has been improved. Oops, that's not a good example because that's a community product. But let's say a course. Is they have improved. This is one of the problems that used to be like if I clicked on this post and I worked on this post and then I went back, it used to take me all the way to the top. And of course, if you have a lot of categories and posts in your product, that would be frustrating because you'd have to scroll back down to where you left off. It now takes you back directly to where you were. So that's just more of a workflow improvement. But now sales, there is a sales tab, and offers, coupons, and affiliates are now located under this sales tab. They've improved the coupons. Truthfully, I'm not 100% sure what difference they do here with the coupons, but they're organized better where you have your single-use coupons, you have your bulk coupon codes. When you create a new coupon, you choose what type it is, you create your code, your discount type, and you can either set an expiration date or make it a one-time use, a repeating, or a coupon forever. So that's just kind of a new layout for the coupons and creating coupons. Okay, now the other thing that they announced, and this is the get rid of that. Okay, so now I'm going to go over this Facebook one. And again, I apologize. I'm not going to go into the specific how-to. I'm going to tell you what it is and I'm going to do another video that's going to really talk specifically about this. So this is known as the Facebook Ad Integration API. And I know anytime I say API, people's eyes roll back in their heads because it's techie talk. But this one is super, super important. And here's the deal. As I mentioned, Apple has given all of the users of the iOS operating system, which means your iPhone, your MacBook, your iPad, etc. You can opt out of having your activity tracked. So where we used to track people for Facebook ads based on, are they on our email list? Did they visit our website? Did they like our Facebook page? Are they part of a custom audience that we created? All of those things. People on Apple operating system can opt out of being tracked. So what does that mean? That means where I create custom audiences based on my email list, website visitors, people who watch these videos, if somebody's opted out, they are no longer tracked for my custom audiences. I read, and this is, I don't have independent knowledge of this, but there has been a survey that has said 96% of people on the Apple operating system have opted out of tracking. So that means people that are using Facebook on Apple may not be tracked, which means your data is now inaccurate. It's going to be a lot smaller number of people that you can track. And it's raising hell with people doing Facebook ads. So this is one option, and this is a really, really good move on Kajabi's part. What they've done is they have worked with Facebook directly to create a conversion API. And what that means is that instead of tracking activity through Facebook, Kajabi can send the activity direct to Facebook. And they're tracking, and what they are sending is the lead and purchase information from activity on the Kajabi platform. They can send that information directly to Facebook without, even if the person has opted out. It doesn't identify the person as far as I'm aware, but it does send the data to Facebook. So at least your ad statistics are going to be more accurate. Now to do that, and this is again, where I am not going to go into the how-to of this, is that you set up your own conversion API for your ad account. And what it does is it creates something called an access token that is specific to your Facebook pixel and your ad account. And then in Kajabi, you can put that information right where you also have your Facebook pixel. So you see right down here, and this is a demo account, so I don't have a pixel attached to this site, but you have your pixel ID here, and then you have this access token. So you can click on that, and it talks about what it is, how Kajabi can then send lead and purchase events directly to Facebook, gives you this information. And the interesting thing is they really, really don't tell you how to do. Oh, here we go. Shoot. I looked earlier and I could not find the information. I have done it for my own account and I couldn't even remember how I had done it. So here you go. So if you need to do this before I get the video done, go to Kajabi's Help Center and go how to generate an access token. And it's going to tell you step by step how to do that. Then you come back to Kajabi and you paste that code that they give you right in here and save it. And that's all you need to do. So sorry if you're not interested in doing Facebook ads or any of this stuff has just totally made your head want to explode and you never want to do Facebook ads again, you could ignore this. But this, for those of you that are looking at driving traffic with Facebook ads, you really, really need to take care of this. I also, on YouTube, as well as I think on my Facebook page, I do have a lot of videos about setting up all of the things that you need to do for Facebook ads, verifying your domain on Facebook, all of that is really important right now if you plan on running Facebook ads. Okay. All righty. So guess what? There's a new development cycle. Now, new development cycle has started. They're calling it New York. They name them after cities and they highlight Kajabi users in these cities. So that's just part of their marketing. So New York development cycle is in process. Now, what they do is they do roll out, they've already started to work on some of these enhancements and they roll them out to some Kajabi users who have said they're interested in beta testing. Right now, I received this week 2 emails that I have early access to some of the new features that are being worked on in the New York development cycle. One in particular, I think I'm going to lead with this one because this one I've seen tons of people asking for it. So I want to give you hope that it is going to be available to you very, very soon. And Kajabi lumped this under sales features. Now, remember, these development cycles are not only just new features that are being rolled out, but they're also user interface and user experience improvements. And so some of these under sales is that, but you can now limit the quantities sold on an offer. So if you have an offer for a group coaching program and you want to limit it to 25 people, you can limit that offer to 25 people. And when the 26th person tries to order, the offer is not available for them to purchase. I started seeing more and more people requesting this, and it's really interesting because it just hadn't ever occurred to me because I'm on a membership. My business is focused on memberships, so I don't want to limit purchases necessarily. It does, again, we have all these psychological reasons that we set things up, and it's a FOMO, fear of missing out, it puts urgency, scarcity, all of those things. But you can limit quantities on offers now. And I think that's pretty exciting. You can view all offers for affiliates. I checked this out and it was kind of okay. Let me go back. I'm going to show you each one of these. So I'm going to show you all of these. And you can customize the text for setup fees. So many of you might do this. Let's say you have a membership but you want to charge a setup fee. And you could call it something else. You could call it onboarding fee. I just had a really not introductory onboarding fee. Sorry, I'm blanking. I'm trying to think of, you might call it something else other than a setup fee, onboarding, commitment fee, deposit. You might even just call it a deposit. I mean, so now on setup fees, you can customize the text for that. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to show you offers and how you can limit that. Okay. Here we go. So if I want to create a new offer, and I am just going to say it is a new offer, and I could make it my it's that. Now, I've always thought this is kind of weird the way it does it. So now if I want to go in there and get more specific, I have to click edit price. So here you can see this is where I can make it multiple payments or a recurring subscription. And here I would then select a new payment plan, say that's a recurring subscription. And here where it said setup fee, then this is where I could actually say, again, calling it an onboarding, introductory, something like that. So let's say it was $149. Here is my setup fee override text. I could call it onboarding or deposit or a commitment fee or something like that. So that is where you could do that. So I think people are really excited about that because setup fee was not always necessarily what was most descriptive about this particular thing. So now here, limit offers, limit the purchase quantity. So let's just say again, if we only wanted to sell 25 of this offer, when the limit is reached, you could create a sold out page, or you could create your own landing page that would be your sold out page. I think I would do a landing page because the sold out page, I'm going to preview it. Oh, well, you got to have something in there for it to be, again, I'm going to save it and then preview it again. It's not going to be particularly pretty. I would do a landing page and then when the limit is reached, send them to the landing page. That's what I would do if I were you. Now, here's another thing for those of you that are considering affiliates. And this is the affiliate setup. And typically with an offer, let's go back over to our offers here. Down here is where you can check the box to give an affiliate a commission right here. Now, one of the things you can do under affiliates is you can see all of your offers in one place, and then you could go in and add an affiliate commission right here. I do like this. If you're going to do affiliates, it's a nice way that you can see at a glance which products that you have set up with an affiliate percentage and which ones you haven't. So that's a really, really good option. Okay, I got one more for you, which is now they've got a new, here we go. It's new website pages. And I got another goodie for you that you're going to really, really like. Because when I saw this, I was like, okay, it's more again a user interface type of thing. But here's the kicker. You can now create a website page that is available only to members. That's pretty exciting. I know for a fact I have seen a lot of people request this. So let's go. Let me go back and see if I can set this up. Now, I have to switch out of my regular site because I actually have a website with an old theme. So it doesn't have these available options for me to show you. Okay, here we go. All right, so we're going to come up here to website now. Here is the new thingy. Under design, remember we used to see that you'd see the little preview, but you had the list of the pages down the side. Now, look at it. It's got this scroll bar that's showing me each one of my pages. So there's the member directory. So then I can click on customize the page based on that scrolling. So like this was my announcements page for this particular site. Okay, I don't like that. I hit back and it took me to pages instead of that design area. So the different themes that are available are now located under theme store. So, and they haven't updated this for a month or so. These two are the most recent ones that they had. So that's the theme store. And down here, these are the themes that I've brought in, but they're not active. So you see, if I hover over here now, it says set this one to be my live theme, or set this one, or set this one. If you purchase a theme template, you can upload it right from here. And if you want to browse themes, it goes back to what they are calling now the theme store. So this is pretty good. Again, it's mostly a user interface thing. I mean, the different pages and what have you have not changed, but scrolling through, so like here is the blog. Now, if I wanted to customize this one, it's going to let me customize it, but once again, I'm going to be customizing it with this link down in the bottom to, for example, look at the blog. It's going to show me the blog that way. Now, interesting, see, it takes me back to pages. Now, here again is something that is new. They've taken our pages and they've broken them into pages that are for your website, for landing pages, and pipelines. Now, if, for example, oh, shoot. Okay, once again, I have an old theme that is activated. So let me set that one to be my live theme for now. Okay, so I'm going to go back to pages. So now, if I create a new website page, and I could say new page, and I customize it, a couple things are going to happen. One is it's going to pick up the branding from the other, from this theme automatically, which in this case isn't much, right? But here's the thing now, if I go to settings and, oh, this is so ironic because I was able to do this. See, this is what happens is when you are trying to demo something new. Let me check again. Edit details. So you want to go to edit details on your new page. And right here it says member visibility. So by default, anyone can view this page. If I toggle this off, only members can view this page. So let me tell you something. I can see a problem with this right now because members means anybody that has opted in or has purchased a product. So I don't like this because this means if I say it's only visible to members, that means if I tried to create content that's just for my membership, my flight crew club, people that signed up for my free resource library could see it. So I'm going to give them some feedback. So this is new, right? And this is still in beta. So I have the option now that I can give them feedback and say, I want to be able to say what members have visibility of this page. So I'm glad we went through this because now I see we need to address that. But again, now you've got landing pages are here. You've got your pipeline pages here. So that is just a new view of that. Okay. So yeah, that was kind of it. So in short, the Toronto development cycle is over, and the big focus was on email deliverability. My recommendation is you implement double opt-in and customize the double opt-in content to make it more brand and user-friendly. If you decide not to do double opt-in, know that you're going to have reCAPTCHA on your opt-in forms. The back-end improvements for these things were, having a faster file upload, the new sales tab, organizing offers, coupons, and affiliates under the sales tab, and updating how we edit our products. The new things coming are in, I will do an update again on the API, creating the integration. I'll do that as a separate one because it's too involved to go into it. Also, we now have New York as our development cycle. The website pages features that I just showed you, those are in beta to a limited number of Kajabi users. And the sales features, including limiting the quantities on an offer. So you can do a sense of scarcity and only have X number of seats available for a product, which I know a lot of people have asked for. Let me just tell you that if you are interested in giving input to Kajabi on features that you would like to see added, you can always go to ideas.kajabi.com, and you can also see oops. Oh, I have a typo here. Don't worry, folks. I'm going to show you in a second. You can also see what is being worked on. So let me go over here. So under consideration, meaning those are still being assessed as far as, you know, the number of people who would want this. And you can always go in here and let's just say if you customize the upsell, you can log in and vote on if it's a critical update that would be very important to your business. So there's no limit, no limit. There's quite a few different, you know, under considerations. Planned, which is exciting. Build audio support and integration with Calendly. Limited time offers. Improve the checkout, partial refunds, paid newsletters. These are all planned. In beta, well, the sales tab is done as far as I know. Coupon setup, all these things. Persist section, go to next page. The ability to merge contacts. So you can check all of these out and the things that have been launched. You know, I realized there actually, there was one other update that had to do with seeing your, the purchase pages of your members. I'll go over that again next time. Anyway, so thank you so much for joining me. Today was a long one. And for some of you, it might have been kind of boring, but I think it's important that you all know what Kajabi is releasing, how you use it, how I would use it, for example, as a user, just like you. But anyway, so watch for the other video I'm going to do on this conversion API implementation. If you're going to be planning on doing Facebook ads in the near future. And if you are, make sure you go to my YouTube channel and look for the first two videos on how you verify, how you set up a custom domain and how you verify the custom domain with Facebook, because you have to do those two things as well. And those would be your first steps. And then we'll do the other follow-up with then how do you use this conversion API. Okay, hey, great. Thank you so much for joining me. Whether you were live here or you were on the replay, I am so grateful that you joined me. And let me know also in the comments other topics you'd like me to cover. And until then, I will see you again soon. Take care.